Good morning, everyone. It's Marcia Martin, and today we're going to be talking about concentrating on feeling good. And I want to remind you that feeling good doesn't mean you just paste a smile on your face and hope for the best. That's just wishful thinking. Let us remember that we are active participants. We know our thoughts shape our reality, and we actively search for things to feel good about. Now, let's take a moment to see what our guides have given us in terms of instructions for how to make the most of feeling good, how to get over that stumbling block when you just feel consumed by negativity. So they begin, "Dear ones, although the instruction is simple, concentrate on feeling good, we cannot stress enough the benefits this simple practice will give you in return. This is why we must again speak to the simplicity of the spiritual. As you know, what you think about becomes your reality. But what so many of you fail to perceive is that whether you're thinking about wanted things or reviewing those thoughts or events that are unwanted, all of those thoughts become factored into your reality. The thoughts of what is unwanted are just as powerful as the thoughts of what is wanted. However, the unwanted thoughts steal your joy and ultimately your well-being. So you must be the sentry of your own mind and be the host to only that which you desire to become your physical reality. Long before you see evidence of your thoughts as a physical reality, they will be making inroads into your peace and your ability to think clearly or make wise decisions. You must begin to look at negativity as a cancer that is silently growing until it has taken over your entire being and has robbed you of the ability to be the powerful creator for good that you came here to be. Because you're always powerful, you cannot lose your ability to create, but you can voluntarily give up your ability to create good in your own life. Now, at this point, many of you may begin to disagree, stating that we have not walked in your shoes or endured what you have endured. But we cannot let you continue with this line of thought. Although you may have experienced much hardship, you are not exempt from the responsibility for creating that hardship. You had to agree to undergo that experience before you would have been able to experience it. Therefore, let's examine the ways in which you form agreements with wanted and unwanted events, so you'll be able to make conscious decisions about what you do and don't want in your energetic realm. First, you form many of these agreements as a child. Every child absorbs the limiting belief systems and thinking that's most prevalent in your family and community. However, before you look about and begin casting blame on family members, remember that each one was chosen as part of your journey. They were brought into your awareness because you wanted to learn something from them. Now that you're an adult thinking your own thoughts, it's time for you to review that which you absorbed as a child. If you grew up in a home that focused on scarcity and lack, then examine if that's a belief you want to continue holding on to. How do you feel when you think thoughts such as, "There's never enough," "Someone else will always have more," or "I must take everything I can get my hands on before someone else gets it"? If these thoughts bring you joy, make you feel relaxed, happy, and fulfilled, hold them close and repeat them often. You will experience evidence of those thoughts as your physical reality. Conversely, if those thoughts conjure up images of desperation and fear, then take the time to let them go and replace them with thoughts that bring you a sense of satisfaction, of wholeness, and that make you feel good. The second way you acquire beliefs and agree to receive is through a painful or traumatic incident. This is either something unexpected that altered your reality, or something repeated over a long period of time, such as prolonged abuse. In this case, you've either become used to thinking that your way of existence is normal because it happens continuously over a long period of time, or you encounter a traumatic event that alters your reality so completely that this new post-trauma reality becomes your new normal. Again, you must challenge yourself to a question why you are allowing this reality to continue. If you're unhappy or uncomfortable with your current circumstances, you must first change your thoughts about what's acceptable before you'll be able to create an outward change in your reality. Nothing can change in your life until you change the way you're viewing your circumstances and withdraw permission for them to exist in their current state. As soon as you stop feeding what you don't want and put all of your energy into feeding what you do want, as soon as you stop feeding what you don't want and put all of your energy into feeding what you do want, until you stop feeding what you don't want and put all of your energy into feeding what you do want, nothing will change. You do not have to allow events to control you. You can control events, but you must be deliberate and consistent with your thoughts. That which you practice, repeat, and energize becomes your destination. The third way you give permission to and claim ownership of unwanted events is to rehearse what's wrong. By engaging in this negative thinking, you are cementing your limiting beliefs and providing yourself no escape route from their prison. By constantly reviewing and anticipating what has gone wrong and what could go wrong, you put yourself on the treadmill of, I expect to experience more events that will prove to me that things are always going wrong for me. If things do go right, you'll be unable to celebrate that experience, and instead you'll be waiting for the other shoe to drop, thereby fulfilling your prophecy that everything always goes wrong for you. The good thing that happened will be an anomaly, and you'll be certain it cannot happen again because, after all, things are never working out for me. I must have bad luck. Do not allow yourself to be a prisoner of any of these belief systems. Instead, honor yourself by taking the time to examine your thoughts and discover which of the thoughts that you hold dear are causing you to encounter unpleasant circumstances. Recognize your power and use it wisely. Do not give the power over your life to someone else by thinking of yourself as small and weak. Remember, you are always powerful. It's not your power that has diminished when you think negatively. It's your wisdom. We ask that you reclaim your wisdom by taking a look at everything that occupies your mind. Examine every conversation you have with yourself and be honest. Ask yourself, if I continue to think these thoughts or hold these beliefs, will I create a life that feels good? If the answer is no, don't just throw up your hands and feel sorry for yourself. Instead, get busy creating new thoughts that are uplifting, that make you feel good, and that will lead you in the direction you want to go. Refuse to allow your life to be run by a third party. If you're experiencing things you don't like, examine the thoughts you're thinking and change them. Let go of the dark underbelly and hold fast to the beautiful perfection that is really you. Know that you deserve good things. Know that you deserve to feel good. And get busy focusing on those thoughts and experiences that will give you more to feel good about. You're just that powerful. If we remember nothing except the understanding that we are just that powerful, we will have given ourselves the greatest gift possible. We'll understand that when we allow these thoughts of negativity to creep in and take over our thinking, when we continue to tell the same old story of the way it's always been and the way it's been has been bad, we will understand that we are creating more of that bad. But the most important thing that I want you to take away from this is it is not your power that you lose or that diminishes when you think negatively. It's your wisdom. You're cutting yourself off from the divine. You're narrowing that little chamber of connection, that tunnel of connection. And instead of being expansive and joy-filled and being able to hear and respond to the Creator, you've narrowed your vision and your sights down until you have so little left that you begin making decisions that are fear-based, that are desperate, that will lead you in a negative direction. And of course, because your thoughts are so powerful, because you are so powerful, you will then attract to you more of that negativity, more of those things that are not serving you in the way that you deserve to be served. So remember, it is not your power that diminishes when you think negatively. It is your wisdom, your connection to the divine. Throw open the window of your soul and say yes to God, yes to Source, yes to your Creator. Yes, I am here. I am a co-creator, and I want you to help me. I want you to inspire me, to help me lift myself even higher so that I can be living a life that feels wonderful to me, and then I can inspire others out of my overflowing well of goodness to live a life that feels good to them. Feeling good will automatically bring more to feel good about. Now let's take a moment to examine the time if you screw up. Oh my gosh, I made a mistake. The first thing you need to do is recognize it and then take whatever steps you need to take in order to correct it. But once you have corrected it, put the whip down, let go of it. You made a mistake. Oh well, we're all going to make mistakes. You did what you could to correct it. Good for you. Now, get back in your good feeling place. Hey, good for me. I corrected my mistake. I did screw up, but I did everything I know how to do to correct it. Now I must move forward from here and completely let go of the mistake. Now, let me give you an example of something that happened in my life just recently. Because I see a tremendous amount of students throughout the week, and everybody's in a different time zone, I can screw up the time zones and get on the call at the wrong time. Doesn't happen often. I try to check and recheck and double check, but hey, you know what? Every once in a while, I screw up, and I screwed up yesterday. Immediately when I recognized that I had screwed up and inconvenienced the person that I was helping, they are not using a cell phone, so I couldn't send them a text. I sent them an email, and I called and got voicemail. Said, I am so sorry. Are you still available? This was the time that I thought we were to meet. I'm available now. If you're still available, please, may we go forward with this session? Well, we had to readjust to compensate for their schedule because remember, I was the one that screwed up. They were justifiably upset with me. My answer was, I can offer you no excuses, but I am terribly sorry. I I don't know. I can't even think of something that I would say. I was just honest. I screwed up. I got the time wrong. I'm very sorry. I will do my best not to allow this to happen again. Let's move forward. The session went beautifully. The person received a tremendous amount of value. They would not have received that value if I was still feeling badly or I was allowing them and their disappointment in me to make me be off during that session. They needed what I could share with them, and the only way that I could be totally present is to say, hey, I screwed up. I am deeply sorry. Now I must move forward. I had to put it away or completely be in danger of damaging the value that I was prepared to give that person on that particular day. And the value far exceeds me getting the times mixed up. So, what lesson do I take away from this? Check, double check, triple check, do whatever you have to do. Make sure that you know what time zone they are in and how it correlates with my time zone. I probably won't make that mistake again. But if I do, the other lesson that I've learned is to offer an apology and insist that we move forward. Not stay in a dark place, not keep the whip out, because the session was incredibly healing and helpful, and it would not have been so if I couldn't have let go of the experience that happened to me. And now I'm going to share something else with you, a story about what one of my students was experiencing. So the session begins, and they say, oh, I'm so disgusted with myself. Okay, right now, immediately, I've got some red flags going up. I don't want to hear you say those words. However, it's really important that I let the person finish, run through their narrative so I can figure out what's going on. Otherwise, I can't be of value. So I let them continue. Oh my gosh, I needed to send out X amount of letters. And instead of doing that, I got distracted. I'm so terrible. I'm such a distractor. And on and on and on. And my friend told me, I'm a distractor. And look at this. I'm allowing myself to be placed in this precarious financial situation because I didn't get out these letters. Oh my goodness, that whip was going and going and going and going. And I think they went on for probably 5 minutes and they finally ran out of steam. During the entire time, I was completely silent. I was wanting to jump through the phone and hug them and say, oh, it's okay. But I knew if I didn't let them get it out and express all of this frustration and all of this fear and all of the ways in which they felt they had let themselves down, we were not going to get to the real issue. And I was so quiet that after this rant was finished, they said, are you there? I said, yes, I'm listening. I'm hearing everything you're saying. Absolutely every word. So now you've told me everything that you've done wrong. I haven't heard one moment of praise for yourself in this entire story. How do you feel about yourself? Well, they took a deep breath and they said, of course, I feel awful. I feel stupid. I feel worthless. I've put myself in this terrible position. So, of course, my next question was, from that position of fearful desperation, of feeling really badly about how you chose to spend the last week, what do you think you're going to be attracting? Well, they got that wonderful aha moment. Oh my gosh, I get it, I get it, I get it. The more I beat myself up, the more I'm going to attract things to beat myself up over. So then I went over with her a list of things that she had accomplished successfully, not just in the time that we had been working together, but over our conversation she had shared many different things that she had done successfully. And so we went over this list, and I said, don't you remember you told me you did this? And remember this? What about this accomplishment and that accomplishment? Then she began adding her own accomplishments, things that she was proud of, things in which she had handled the situation beautifully. And after we got through sharing her accomplishments, I asked her the question again, how do you feel about yourself now? Again, the light bulb went off. I feel great. I feel so much more empowered. I feel that I really am valuable. That's the key. She suddenly became valuable and worthy, and she was now going to give herself the opportunity to put herself and her thoughts in the direction of receiving so that she would receive more of what she wanted, instead of this constant barrage of negativity that she was continuing to put forth. It's so, so important. We all have times when we screw up, but it is so important to recognize, okay, I screwed up. What can I do to correct it, and how quickly can I move myself back into the place where I'm feeling good, because my only hope of receiving what I do want is to get myself into a better feeling place. I have not had an opportunity to talk with her since we went over her huge list of accomplishments, but I am absolutely certain that the next time that we talk, I'm going to hear how many wonderful things have occurred in her life. They may not all be huge, magnificent goals, but little ways that her life has changed and improved will be in her conversation, instead of all of the ways in which she caused herself to derail, to let go of what she wanted. Now, I also have another story, and this one is completely different. It's another student that I work with this week. And just to give you an idea of how you can continue to use that feeling good place no matter what you encounter, I want to share this story with you. This particular individual went to a new job, and just going to that new job was a huge success, because this particular person had spent 12 years prior to beginning her work with me in her room, feeling unworthy of engaging in society in any way. A deeply empathic person, deeply sensitive, didn't understand the barrage of sensations that she was having to deal with when she went out in public, and just it became for her, I must be bad, there's something wrong with me, I don't deserve to be out in public or to have wonderful, loving interactions. So the fact that she could start a new job was huge. Now, yes, she had some fear and trepidation. This was a big first step. However, she was going to have with her someone who she thought she could trust, so she felt a little bit more secure in going to this new place. She gets there, and the angels are already there in advance, and the person that she meets first is also an empath and is warm and loving and very welcoming to her. So she immediately is able to relax and feel better. Unfortunately, things did not continue to go the way that she wanted them to go. The person that she's close to that brought her this job opportunity also brought some other people to the job as well. And these particular people took that opportunity to say some very unkind things about my student's friend. My student chose to defend her friend and point out all of the very loving and kind things that this friend had done for these other people as well. Now, you would think that the friend would say, "Wow, thank you for defending me. That was really incredibly kind of you, and I appreciate and love you so much." Unfortunately, this time it didn't go that way. Instead, the friend said, "How dare you? You've embarrassed me in front of these other people, and I'm really angry with you for defending me." She didn't use those words, but "I'm really angry that you created this scene." Well, my student came home that day and was in tears. She couldn't understand, what have I done wrong? What did I do that would cause this person to react this way? I was being loving. I was defending them. I was saying to these other people, don't be cruel. So again, she reverted to her old pattern of locking herself in her room. I just won't leave my room. Obviously, I can't go out into society and conduct myself in a way that other people understand, and I'm just so embarrassed. I don't want to go out into the world again. So I had an opportunity to talk with her, and we went over what really happened. And I was able to point out to her that she did do the right thing. She acted in a loving way. Unfortunately, it was not well received. However, that was not her responsibility. It's the other person that has the problem. And she cannot judge herself by someone else's reaction to a situation. The best that we can do in that kind of situation is say, let me examine my own actions. Did I do the right thing? Would I want someone to stand up for me in a loving way if other people are speaking in an unloving way about me when I'm not present? I would. I think any loving person would really have appreciated that. So I was able to reassure her, hey, you did the right thing. Unfortunately, it was not well received. But that doesn't make you bad, and it doesn't make your actions bad. And so you continuing to condemn yourself is not going to bring you joy or happiness. You locking yourself in your room is not going to move your life forward. You've got to instead look at yourself and your action and say, if I had the opportunity to do it again, would I again defend this person and be the loving person that I came here to be? Or would I just run away and hide in the corner? Well, she agreed that, yes, she would again defend that person because it made her feel good. So as soon as we were able to help her understand, you did something that made you feel good, she was able to say, you're right. You're right. It didn't work out the way that I wanted to, but I'm still proud of what I did. And I'm going to focus on being proud of the fact that I responded lovingly when I had the opportunity not to do anything. And I'm going to walk out of my home every day feeling proud of myself and feeling good that I am someone who will defend another person and who will act in a loving manner. So now she's up and she's doing and she's feeling good, and I guarantee you that when we next speak, she will be able to tell me about different opportunities and different events that have occurred in her life that are continuing to make her feel proud of who she is and feel good about herself. Now, I did advise that she take a look at her relationship with that person and be a little careful around that person. If they are the kind of person that is unloving, when you do something loving, if they return bad for good, you may need to take a step back energetically and shield yourself while they're going through whatever growth period they're going through. But she was able to walk away proud. She did the right thing. She stayed in her high place. She just got a little confused there at the end because the result was not what she expected. But now that she's back on track, the next encounter she has will bring her a result that she really does want and does deserve. But again, remember, while she was negative, she said, I'm just never coming out of my room again. I'm not fit for society. Well, she didn't diminish her power. If that was her choice, she had the opportunity to stay in her room and become lonely and sad. But she did cut herself off from God and the angels and all of that guidance. As soon as we were able to change her point of view, she opened back up. She happens to have an amazing clairvoyant ability, so she began immediately to see the orbs and all sorts of wonderful, beautiful colors. She got back in touch with God, back totally connected, and could just feel the love flowing through her. So she wasn't giving up her power by saying, I want to run in my room. She was giving up her God connection, and that made her feel even worse. So please don't give up your God connection. Your God connection is the most beautiful part of your life. It will lead you toward everything that you want to accomplish. It is the key to abundance in every area of your life. When we're cut off from God because we choose to be so, and we try to do it on our own, we are in the forest of our own making, and we really cannot see our way clear. We might make a little progress, and that I hope that you do. But if you want to make that huge, earth-shattering progress for yourself and be a lighthouse for other people, you must call on the wisdom of God, that beautiful vision, that overarching vision that allows you to see clearly. Because God is not in the middle of your problems. God is above them. He can see, or they can see, excuse me, Mother, they can see how close you are to your goal. They can see, oh my gosh, you've taken a detour. Come on back. Get on this path. It's broad. It's wide open. It's full of sunshine. And you'll meet X, Y, and Z who will propel you forward to where you want to go. Lost in our own little forest, we may wander around in circles and not even know that we're wandering in circles. Your life will become so much better when you take the time to open to God, to give God permission to be in your life. We all have free will. There is not going to be an angel knocking down your door saying, hey, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing this? You will be allowed to go off into the darkness for as long as you choose. But just as soon as you say, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore, please help me, all of heaven will rush in to be by your side and to help you find a way to begin putting yourself in a more positive direction. Life is all about moving forward, but we've got to give ourselves permission to move forward in order for it to take place. Because free will says we get to choose. And the beauty of that is we even get to choose not nice things. We get to choose the dark, but we can also choose the light. The dark is there for a purpose. It helps us understand what we don't want. But the light is so much better. Take whatever time you need in the dark, figuring out what you don't want. And then open your heart to the light. Let it in. Let that love in. Let that wisdom in. Get out into the sunshine and grow. Now, I had not questions come in this time. I had some statements, and the statements were real heart hurters. First person said, it's just too hard to control your mind. Well, if that's your belief, it will be true for you. If you absolutely believe that you cannot control your mind and that you are at the mercy of whatever thoughts come calling, you will have no ability to control your mind. You will be absolutely correct. You will be taken any direction that your thoughts decide to go, and unless you have done the work to clean up what is in your subconscious, generally you will be going in the direction of lack, of limiting beliefs, of negative thinking. Perhaps you'll be reviewing past traumas or abuse, and that's a horrible thing. That's why it hurts my heart when somebody tells me it's just too hard. It's only as hard as you allow it to be. And Monique, I see your hand. I will call on you in just a moment. Just remember, it is only as difficult as you insist that it must be. The spiritual is so simple. The only thing you need to do is say, I need help. Thank you for your help, God. And be open to receiving. Immediately, all of heaven will be there to assist you. Monique, what would you like to share with us today?
Yeah, because your thinking, it is just an old way of thinking. So I'm also training to going in details and my words to be more aware of what I'm thinking. So I sometimes I think negative, but I try to turn it around in a positive mind.
Thank you. Thank you for helping us all remember, hey, we're going to have times when we are thinking
but
negative. Yeah, we're going to have times when we're thinking negatively. And the thing that we cannot do is begin that, getting out that whip and beating ourselves for thinking negatively. As soon as you recognize it, I want you to say, oh my gosh, I'm brilliant. Look at this. I recognize I'm thinking negatively and I know what that's going to bring me.
Yeah.
So right this minute, I'm making a choice to bring more love in my life, and I'm going to turn my thoughts in a positive direction. I'm so proud of myself. Please get used to being your own best cheerleader. It may sound or feel silly in the beginning, but hallelujah, I want you to be so excited every time you have discovered that your thoughts are going in a negative direction, that you cannot possibly be anything but delighted with yourself. Because that is huge. The beginning of being able to completely free yourself from negative thought is getting an awareness of every time you do have a negative thought. If you just stay in that complete zoned out space, which this one reader is in, it's just too hard, I don't think that she's going to make a whole lot of, well, I don't know if I don't remember if it's a woman. I think it was. I don't think that they are going to make a whole lot of progress anytime soon with that kind of thinking. It is like rolling not just one boulder up the hill, but rolling an entire mountain up the hill when you say, it's too hard. I can't control my thoughts. They just go wherever they want to, and I'm powerless. Oh my gosh, that is a heavy weight to bear. So I am so delighted that you are recognizing that recognition is that first step into total freedom. But if you never say or never take that moment to recognize, oh wow, look at this, look where I've ended up. If you don't take that time, you will just continue down that detour. And believe me, I was the detour queen. I used to take off for long periods of time. And at that time in my life, I really did not think that I had any kind of power. I viewed myself as weak and ineffective and just sort of along for the ride. And that's exactly what I was. So I love the new me. I love the new Monique. I love the strength that I hear in your voice. I love the change in attitude. Things can only get better from here.
Yeah,
You may have challenges.
and I have a lot of men that they like me, but the most of the time it's only for sex. So and I don't do that anymore. Go away, I'm waiting for my soulmate.
Good for you. Well, here's what I
Yeah.
want you to do.
Yeah.
Create for yourself a list or a story that shares or shows all of the qualities that you think would be perfect for you in your soulmate. Get as detailed as you can be and just really, really get excited, really get emotionally attached to all of the qualities that this particular person has.
Yes.
It's so important to get really clear on what you want.
Yeah, I want to have someone in my life, and that yeah, he's going. I hope he's going to stay for me for all of my life, but not for a couple of months. Then I think to the other guys, well, then you better can go to a hooker or something, but not me.
Okay, well, here's how I want you to phrase that. Take the word hope away. I am looking for my soulmate. These are the qualities that I want my soulmate to have.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I expect that this person will be with me until the end of my physical time here on earth.
Yes.
Now, the way that you need to be really careful is that when we make a list that's specific, we can only, again, see what our own forest allows us to see. So you put down everything that feels good to you and make your list as detailed as possible and as emotionally uplifting as possible. Get really excited about these qualities that you want this particular person to have.
Yeah.
Then when you're all finished, you say, okay, I want this or something better, whatever is for my highest good. Now you've taken yourself out of the forest and you've placed yourself in the highest realm possible because you're saying, all right, God, I get it. I see this, but you may have somebody even more incredible in mind for me. And I don't want to close the door on anything that's incredible. So you create the specific list or story because your mind needs something to focus on. We do not have good attention spans. I actually read something in Forbes the other day that said the human mind has now reduced its attention span to 8 seconds, which is less than a goldfish, because of all of the technology that's available to us and all of the instant gratification. So when you are wanting to focus on something that you really want to bring into your energetic field and into your physical reality, Make it easy on yourself by giving yourself a very specific focal point, which is your story or your list that you will read over and over and over again until it becomes so second nature that you don't need to read it anymore because you're just living it in the energetic until it comes into the physical. But then you say, God, this or something better. And that way you open yourself up to the wisdom of God, the beautiful help from God. But you've given yourself a focal point, so you're not going to find yourself off on a detour. What if he never comes? Look, I'm getting older. What if we are so likely to take those detours, especially with all of the junk that comes at us from the media, reminding us we're getting older, time is passing you by, and you're only fulfilled if you have this particular type of person. That bombardment can throw us off track if we allow it. So that's why we have this huge, wonderful list or story, and it is moving us in the direction that we want to go, and we're completely absorbed by our story and less vulnerable to the suggestions of the media. And then we open it up to God. This is as much as I can come up with, God, but maybe you've got someone even better. Either way, you win. You either you were completely on point and you absolutely nailed it. You picked out your soulmate and you got it right on the money, or you get someone even better. But you definitely are placing yourself in the position where you can attract the person that you want. And you're not off on those detours or in the deep, dark woods saying, where is he? Time's running out. I have to hurry. If he doesn't come in the next 5 minutes, I'll be too old to enjoy his company. None of that is true. All of that is media hype in order to get you to take an action that they want you to take. We don't know how long we're going to be on this planet. We may be here until we're 200. At which point
so I don't have a hurry. Yeah, of course
Yes.
I wanna meet him next summer. I hope so. But if it doesn't, then yeah, well, it's okay too. But yeah, I really want to have something to build something up and to do a lot of traveling. And I'm young, so yeah, I got a lifetime in front of me. My kids are out of the house, so I don't have to take care of them anymore. So yeah, I'm free. I'm free woman.
Hooray! Now, here's what I do want you to do. Put in your story, I want to meet this person by next summer.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah.
But no hope, just, God, I want to meet this person by next summer. But then, however, I want to meet them whenever you feel the time is right.
Yes.
Because what if that person is ready to meet you next month and you've decided you don't want to meet them until next summer?
Okay.
Or what if that person cannot get to your meeting place until next fall and you've become discouraged and given up because they're not here in the summer?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of money to going out, and now it's going to be winter. It's August now, so it's time for inner healing. So I leave it now, and I'm focusing on myself.
Beautiful. Do that inner healing. Absolutely focus on yourself. But write that story and read it and read it and read it. Read it when you get up. Read it before you go to sleep. When you read something in the morning, it sets the intention for your day. You don't just, not just reading, but whenever you make any statement about how you want your day to go, it creates that energetic field for your day to flow in that way. when you read something or say something before you go to sleep, it is programming your subconscious to go out and gather this energy that you are requesting and bring it into your physical reality. So those are two powerful times in the morning when you're first awake, before you've really gotten into the busy of your day. You're very receptive. And of course, as you're dropping off to sleep, your subconscious becomes more receptive.
Okay.
You can also read the story throughout the day to keep reinforcing it, to make sure that you're not trying to take a detour into something unwanted. So you can be as specific as possible, and you're in no danger of making a mistake, because at the end, you always turn it over to God. This is as good as I can do with what I believe I should receive. Okay, God, this is my best. Now add your best to it and bring that to me. So you're getting yourself in the action mode by writing the story, the list, doing the visioning, and then you're handing it over to God and saying, hey, I get it. You know more than I do, so I'm going to allow you to take it from here. And
Yes.
then you get the best of the best of the best possible. Now, I have one other comment. I'm just going to mute you here for a minute. I have one other comment that also hurt my heart that I really think we need to address today. And this was a person that wrote in and said, I don't have anything to feel good about. And yes, I have been there. I understand what it's like to feel like your life is so dark that things around you have become so horrible that there really is nothing to feel good about. I do understand where you are, but I cannot let you stay there because it will never bring you anything that you want. So when you're in the place that you feel that you cannot find anything to feel good about, you have to take drastic action. If it's sunny outside, go out and stand in the sunshine and bathe in the warmth of the sun. Feel the energy filling your body. Feel that love. Start becoming grateful for the sunshine. If you are able to go to a place where flowers are blooming, a park where you'll see other natural signs, flowers, birds, squirrels, just other kinds of life, go there and spend time communing with that life, feeling that it's growing and blooming and prospering. Also, a running stream is good. It helps get your energy moving in a positive direction. If none of those things are available to you, if you are housebound for any reason, then you may have to begin by concentrating on the fact that your heart is beating and being grateful for that. Perhaps then you would move to, well, my lungs are breathing. My stomach is digesting. You've got to find things that are going right, that are happening for you, if you have any hope of getting out of this state of mind in which you find yourself. Otherwise, you will remain a prisoner. You will continue to create circumstances that will give you reasons to be depressed. You must take responsibility for the fact that it's your thoughts that led you here, and it's your thoughts that can lead you out again. You're in charge. The other thing that is so, so wonderful is to go to a playground where there are children, young children, not babies because they're not yet as great at interacting, although it's wonderful when they smile, but children who may be 3 to 5 or 6, they will scream with joy and laughter, and they get so delighted about everything. Everything is new and wonderful. They're just discovering the world and all of the beautiful things. They pick up a dandelion, and when they can blow those seeds into the air, it feels like magic. Allow your world to be magical. Feeling good is the magic key. It unlocks everything else. But again, you're responsible for your thoughts. You may not feel that way because a lot of things may have conspired to get you to this place where you feel like your life is really lousy. However, the only way to get out of that place is to begin understanding that you're in charge and take the action that you need to take in order to start finding any positive thing, any good feeling. Put on a romantic comedy or just a comedy. Find reasons to laugh, to come out of yourself and get into a better feeling space. It will be difficult in the beginning. You will want to run back to that dark place because it feels normal. You've rehearsed it for a long time. And it will feel like a whole lot of effort, even to pick up the remote and turn on your TV and search through the movies for a comedy or something that's lighthearted. But it will be worth the effort. Once you've invested that effort, you'll find that your vibration gets better. You can smile a little more easily. You're feeling a little better about you and your world. So the next action step that you have to take, the next good feeling thought that you're reaching for comes a little more easily. Maybe now you will want to get dressed and get out of your house and go to the park and be around nature or children who are laughing and playing and just feeling good because they're still so closely connected to the divine. Each step becomes easier, just as it was difficult in the very beginning to think that your life was going to go downhill, and then it became kind of normal to think, oh my gosh, all I can hope for is a downward spiral. It was difficult to go from feeling at least moderately happy to deep depression, but then you became accustomed to it. In the same way, it will be challenging in the very beginning to choose thoughts that feel good. But if you keep at it, if you take that first step forward and keep adding valuable and uplifting thoughts to your day and taking actions that make you feel better, it will become easier and easier, and it is so worth the effort. If you love being depressed, if you really feel that you're gaining something because of this depression, then by all means stay where you are. But if you're ready to change, reach out for that better feeling thought. Take that time and invest in yourself to find that thing that feels good and hold on to it. Rehearse it. Be delighted by it. Be grateful for it. Say thank you for this better thought. And then you'll find that more thoughts are coming until that becomes your norm and everything else begins to fade away. If you need help feeling better, please contact me. That's what I do. I help people find what's inside of them, that good part, that strong part, that powerful part, that wise part, and help you connect to it. We get rid of all that garbage and that baggage that you've been holding on to, and you get to open up to who you really are. It's Marcia, M-A-R-C-I-A, Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer. Message me at Marcia, again, M-A-R-C-I-A, at marciamartinthehearthealer.com. I respond to each and every message. If you don't hear from me and it's been 48 hours, check your spam folder. Nothing there. Please message me again. I may have made a mistake, but you are important and I do want to respond to you. I do want you to know that you are important, that you are loved, and that you are cherished. Thank you all so much for being part of today and for concentrating on feeling good. Next week, we're going to be talking about starting from scratch. What happens when your world falls apart and you've got to start all over again? You'll be able to do it feeling proud of yourself, and do it as a winner. I believe in you. I'm absolutely behind you, and I love each and every one of you.